I'd like to welcome you to a world of storytell play. I'm the Duke of Dressup, but you can call me Uncle TJ. 3, 2, 1, go. Boop bop boop bop boop ba doo ba da ba doo bop boop bop boop ba doo ba da ba doo bop boop bop boop ba doo ba da ba doo 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 ba dee boop a da ba doo bop a da ba doo bop a ba doo bop a boom bop a bop a dum bop hum ba hum ba hum ba hum ba ba dum bop a da ba dum bop boom ba boom ba a dee 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 dee. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Story Time with Uncle TJ, Duke of Dressup. How's everybody doing today? I am so excited to bring another story to you, and today I'm going to introduce you to Louise and her grandma, Mary. So without further ado, I'm just going to dive right into the story. This is a very important story. I hope that young people are watching this with their parents or their elders, and I hope that you might have some conversation about this later on. Today our story is titled Why Are They Marching in the Streets? Louise sat with her grandma Mary. It was a warm spring day, and the sun was shining bright. From the front porch of her grandmother's house, Louise could hear the beautiful song of red-chested birds and the engines of cars passing by on the street. In the distance, Louise could hear the songful chants of people marching. No justice, no peace. Black lives matter. We shall not be moved. As Louise sat on the porch with her grandmother, the chanting and singing got louder, and now the people marching in the street were closer, close enough that Louise could see them. A large group of people of all ages wearing black and white t-shirts. They were holding signs and waving flags. It was an incredible scene. Louise's grandmother placed her hands gently onto Louise's shoulders, and Louise could hear her grandmother chanting, we shall not be moved. As the singing grew louder, Louise's grandmother's hands held her shoulders a little tighter. Her grandmother smiled as her eyes teared up a little. From the front porch they watched as hundreds of people marched down the street. Louise had never seen anything like it. Louise was so excited and curious about what was happening that as soon as the crowd had passed their porch, Louise looked up at her grandmother smiling and asked, why are they marching in the streets? With hands and eyes more comforting than warm milk, Louise's grandmother said, they are marching in the streets to keep you and me safe. Still with bright, curious eyes, Louise wondered why she needed to be protected. Grandma, I don't understand. Why are they keeping us safe? Louise's grandmother put Louise on her knee and began to tell her a story. She says, a long time ago, when I was a little girl, just like you, my grandmother shared a story with me. When my grandma was a young girl, she wasn't allowed to do certain things because of the color of her skin. She was treated very, very badly because her skin was brown, just like ours. She couldn't go to school with the other kids, and she had to use a separate bathroom and water fountain. She couldn't even sit at the front of the bus. People called her terrible names, and her life was very hard. But she was very strong and very smart. When she was a little girl, people just like today marched in the street. They carried signs and they chanted songs. But Grandma, was she treated bad because her skin looks like our skin? Yes, Louise. Do you get treated badly, Grandma? Sometimes, Louise. But like my grandmother, and like me, and like your mother, we have to be very strong. And you have to know that you are loved, and that the people who are saying and doing bad things are wrong. They are always wrong, and you are always special and beautiful and very smart and important. So, Grandma, the people who are marching in the street are keeping us safe from bad people. Well, sweet child, They are keeping us safe from people who do bad things. Well, Grandma, can we march one day? Oh, sweet Louise, I pray that you never have to march. I pray that you get to grow up in a peaceful world, but if you do have to march, just know that I will always be with you, and so will my grandmother. She will be with you too. But grandmother, how can your grandmother be with me? I've never even seen her before. Well, Louise, I would like to tell you about your ancestors. Now, I know ancestor is a new word for you, but it's a very important word. Your ancestors are also your family, and they lived in this big world before you. Grandma, I don't understand. Well, just like I'm your grandma, I also have a grandma. My grandma lived a long life in this world, 98 years, but she doesn't live in this world anymore. See, when you get old, you get to leave this world and go to a new world. The new world is very beautiful and it's full of all the things that you love. And everyone is really nice. Wow, I really want to go to that world. One day when it's your turn, you can go. But first, you have to live in this world and you have to work very hard to make this world a beautiful place. Once you finish all of your important work in this world, you'll get invited to the next world and the ancestors living in the next world. And we'll all live together. So what you're saying is, all of my ancestors live in the next world, and one day I'll get to live there with them? Yes, sweetie. You got it. And the ancestors in the new world, they're always with me? Yes, Louise. They love you so much that when they leave for the new world, they always leave a piece of themselves with you. You have your ancestors' beautiful eyes and smile. I have them too. Me and you have the eyes and smiles of our ancestors. Oh, that's really cool, Grandma. Grandma, do you think one day people will be nice to other people and not make fun of them and treat them bad? Well, I really hope so, Louise. I really hope so. These people marching in the street are working very hard to fix the world. They want you to be safe and to have a happy life. They want to make sure you get all the opportunities you need to be successful. One day, when you're all grown up, this world is going to be yours. You will have to take care of it, make sure it's safe, and you're going to do it. You should be very proud to see the people in the streets marching and singing. They are very brave. Those people should be your heroes. Some of those people were holding signs that said Black Lives Matter. They are talking about you. You are black. Your life matters. You are precious. And that's why all those people are marching down the street. They're marching down the street for you. Wow, Grandma, that is really cool. Can you show me pictures of your grandma and tell me more stories, please? Of course, Louise. Let's get into the house and fix a little lunch. I'll pull out my old photo albums. Grandma, what's a photo album? Oh, dear child, I have so much to teach you. Now, Louise and her grandmother Mary, they went into the house, and Grandma Mary shared plenty of stories and showed many pictures of Louise's ancestors. You know, we all have ancestors. It is very important that we get to know them. You should ask about yours. You might find a real life hero in your very own family. Go ahead, give it a try. Well, that's all the time we have this time for our story time, but thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I'm so happy to share this beautiful moment between Louise and her grandmother. I hope that you have the opportunity to have very important moments as well. Remember to stay safe, be happy, love one another, and always stand up against injustice. All power to the people. See you next time. Bye. Ba-da-ba-doo, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-da-ba-da-ba-doo, boom, da-boom, ba-da-ba-da-ba-doo, boom, ba-boom, ba-da-ba-da-ba-doo, boom, ba-da-ba-da-ba-doo, mm, 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 mm. song.